Hey, what's up everyone? So this video is all about basic vanilla cupcakes which I have filled with some blueberry filling just to add a little bit of flavor. So to begin with, we'll be creaming butter and sugar, and like I said in my checkerboard cookies video, we'll be using a softened or conditioned butter. I'm just giving it a good mix to get started. We'll cream the butter and sugar until it is light and fluffy. Creaming is basically a process wherein we incorporate air into the batter. So the more you cream, the better your end product will be. See how the batter now looks initially, or to say at the initial stages of creaming. And do remember to scrape your bowl every now and then so that you get an even creamed butter and sugar. See, this is how it looks after 5 minutes of creaming. So after 10 to 15 minutes of creaming, this is what you will get. See how light and fluffy the batter now looks. The butter has almost turned pale in color. So this is how it looked initially after 5 minutes, and this is how it looks now. Can you note the difference? So the next step is to add in the eggs. Here I have mixed my vanilla along with the eggs. But the catch is to first warm the eggs precisely to be 23 degrees Celsius before we incorporate it into the butter and sugar mixture. But in the industries, when we are mixing 2 to 3 liters of eggs, we do not sit and check with thermometers. So what do we do is we rely on the finger test. That is, if it is warm to touch, we just go ahead and use it. So if you do not have thermometer at home, you can do the same. Just insert your index finger and see if it is warm enough. So my next step is to add in the eggs in stages. Mix thoroughly after each addition, and do remember to scrape your bowl before you add your next batch of eggs. And why are we doing this? So the eggs goes and sits into the air pockets that you created during the creaming process. And if you add it all at once, it would just collapse the air pockets. Makes sense, right? I have also shared these kinds of tips in my cookies recipe. If you're interested in learning the science behind baking, I would highly recommend you to check that. Find the link in the description box below. Before we proceed, let's preheat the pressure cooker, for which I'm adding a base layer of salt, level it off and place a stand on top. Close the lid without any gasket or whistle on top and heat it at high flame. At the same time, I'll also put my oven to preheat at 180 degrees Celsius. Coming back to our batter, here I'm just sifting in some dry flour or plain flour and baking powder together. Fold in through gently without collapsing the beautiful air pockets that you just created. So my next step is to avoid the overmixing of any batter. As you can see, I have not completely mixed the flour through. So this is the right stage to add in my milk. After adding the milk, I'll mix it to get a clear batter stage. Let's now divide it evenly between our cupcake tins. For baking in pressure cooker, I'm making use of these small bowls which I have lined with 2 cupcake paper cups. Now let's just divide this batter evenly between the lined cupcake liners. So once lined, just level the top off using the back of a spoon. So I'll bake this in my preheated oven, and for the pressure cooker one, I'll put these small bowls into my masala dabba, or you can even use any stainless steel plate. However, I'll just put one of these cupcake liners without the base as it is into the masala dabba, just to show you what difference does that make. So let's bake these in the pressure cooker for around 20 to 22 minutes, and the one that goes into the oven for 15 minutes. After placing the masala dabba into the cooker, just reduce the flame to medium. My cupcakes from the oven are ready in 15 minutes. Let's check on our pressure cooker. And yes, they seem to be ready too. Note the shape of the one that was not kept in the bowl. Can you see how it is distorted? As you can see, the one that was baked in the pressure cooker is much smaller as compared to the oven one. That is, it has taken over the shape of the bowl. Also, the oven ones have got a nice golden color, whereas the ones that baked in the cooker did not get any color. However, both of them tasted equally good and were baked well with nice and soft crumbs. I'm just taking these cupcakes a step ahead by making this blueberry filling, for which I have added some sugar, cornstarch and lemon juice into blueberries. I will just cook it all well until it gets a jam-like consistency, that is, it is thickened enough, say for about 15 to 20 minutes on medium flame. Let's whip some cream to go as a frosting on top of the cupcakes. Once the cream is bubbly and frothy, I'll just add sugar in intervals and whip it until stiff peaks form. I'll transfer this to a piping bag with a star nozzle on. Using the back of your piping nozzle, just scrape out some of the cake from the center. However, later I figured out that it is much easier to do this with the help of a knife, so I continued doing the rest with the help of my knife. Next, fill in the center with the blueberry jam that you just prepared. Oh my gosh, I'm just loving the way this blueberry filling has turned out. Don't you think it is looking so tempting? Pipe some rosettes on top of the cupcakes and it's all ready. And that's it for this video guys. If you like my surprise vanilla cupcakes, then please hit that like button, comment below and let me know what would you like me to bake next. If you're finding my tips helpful, then please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button to get instant notification. Find all the details of this recipe in the description box below. Thank you so much guys. I'll see you in my next one. Until then, take care. Bye bye.